In this section, I am going to teach you how to develop your own psychic antidotes so that you can deal with the voices that arise once the images associated with the obsessive thoughts you have manifested in your psyche. As you can remember, a series of voices are projected in your psyche associated with three states of time: past, present, and future. These are voices that suppress your ego state, that lead you to deny what you are, and above all, to lose any glimmer of confidence you may have in your own person. I must clarify that there are actually more psychic voices that need to be delved into, but for the purposes of this program, we are going to stay with the most relevant ones, to limit the obsessive thoughts you may be dealing with. The primary voice associated with the images you have identified is the voice of I am, a stupid person, a bad person, or whatever arises in you. You have already defined that, which, as you already know, is a voice associated with the present. It is defining who you are. The second voice is that of the past, which leads you to doubt your own decisions by telling you, I should have done this to avoid the pain I had to face. If you know this is a voice of guilt and regret. And the third voice is that of the future, which expresses in that microsecond in which all this happens, I should not do this. In the future that will arise, for what? To avoid that pain that you experienced in that past that you cannot get rid of. As you can see, this is a voice that limits you because it will prevent you from moving forward and having confidence that you can achieve your own desires. Once we have made a summary of the psychic voices that you are dealing with and that you have already recognized through the analysis chart that you have already worked on, we can now begin to develop the different psychic antidotes that will allow you to counteract these voices and the pain you feel because of them. So, the first voice that arises in you is the voice of the present, the one in which you say, I am. It is the moment in which, in the light of the images that you are seeing, your psyche subjects you to a state in which you make a judgment about your own person and generally define yourself as someone bad and worthless. And therefore, what we are going to do is in this box of your psychic time map is that you write down the qualities that are contrary to what you are telling yourself. For example, if one of your primary voices is, I am a stupid person, I want you to write, I am an extremely intelligent person, because you are. If another of your primary voices was, I am an ugly person, I want you to write, I am the most beautiful person in the world. And if you have a voice that tells you, I am a bad person, I want you to write, I am the best person in the universe. I want you to do it in the superlative because here we are transforming the negative energy that you are experiencing into positive energy. Now, you will tell me, but in practice, I am not as beautiful a person as some Hollywood star could be, for example, or I am not as intelligent as Stephen Hawking. But that doesn't matter. Here, I want you to see your own genius again. That's what this exercise is about. In addition, you are entering a rational state, and I am targeting your emotions and especially your unconscious mind to subliminal communication work. Now, let's break with this rationality to which your own psyche subjects you. You tell yourself, I am the most beautiful person in the universe, and your rational brain tells you you are not. And your brain is going to give you the image of some beautiful woman or beautiful man recognized at a social level. Do you notice that your brain subjects you to these spells because it itself is sick due to the trauma you have suffered? Therefore, what is the point of listening to a sick person or organ, to an irrational psychic being who is speaking to you from his illness? So the idea is that here you restore your own balance. As I have told you have a wide range of psychic resources, your own internal pharmacy, to create your own medicines which allow you to heal from any illness of the soul. So, as you can see, through this exercise, what I was looking for was precisely to bring to light that state of rationality to which your brain is going to subject you. And for the same reason, you will wonder what the remedy is. Well, once you have defined the voices of the primary, those of the present, and you have generated their anti-voice, what you are going to do is rationalize your anti-voice as a way for your own brain and yourself to observe that you actually have the reason. Let's see what happens with the I am a stupid voice. That we neutralized it with the voice in which you said to yourself, I am the most intelligent person I know. I want you to write in the next box, once you think about it, a time when you were smarter than others. You will tell me that moment does not exist, and I can assure you that yes, intelligence is a relative phenomenon. Let me tell you a story about Winston, my dog, who was smarter than me. One time, I came home with groceries from the market, and the dog stole 2 yogurts from me. I realized because suddenly the atmosphere was very quiet. Well, I went to see what Winston was doing, and the dog was eating the yogurts, and I take them off from him, although I was going to have to throw it away. Well, the thing is that a while later, I realized that the atmosphere was even quieter. What had happened? Well, Winston had not stolen 2 yogurts from me. He had stolen 6 from my bag. And the 2 with whom I had found him were nothing more than a decoy to make me believe that I had discovered him and that he had already received punishment from me. In fact, Winston made sure to hide the other yogurts so I wouldn't know where they were. In the end, I gave them to him as a reward for his intelligence, which, as you can see, was superior to mine. If you notice, he did not need to solve a quadratic equation to demonstrate his intelligence. The same thing happens to with you. I want you to think about moments when your intelligence manifested itself. That's if the voice you experience, associated with the images you see, is a voice of I am not intelligent. The same applies to the I am ugly voice. I want you to think about the times when other people saw you as cute. When this happens to me, I think about all the girls and women who liked me at some point in my life. And I always remember that they were very pretty women. In your case, I am sure that you will find moments associated with your own beauty. If not in relation to another person, I want you to think about moments in your life in which you have dressed in a certain way, seen yourself in a mirror, and liked yourself. And in the case of the voice associated with I am a bad person, I want you to think about the times when you have been good to others, in which your actions have allowed others to receive something from you in a selfless way. So, once we have counteracted the psychic voices of the present with their anti-voices, and we have rationalized your inner voice so that you see that you are who you say you are, I want you to develop your own antidote to the negative voices that arise in that microsecond when the discomfort you feel manifests. As soon as that feeling of pain associated with the image arises, I want you to start saying inside yourself, I am the most beautiful person in the universe. I am the most intelligent person in the cosmos. I am the most beautiful person in infinity. And while you are saying it, I want you to remember all those moments in your life that have empirically shown you that you are exactly everything you say about yourself. You know, your brain is going to fight, but if you manage to apply this psychic medicine, as soon as the negative thought arises, You will be able to quickly dissociate yourself from that voice, from the present that wants to show you a way of being yours, but for its own convenience. Because you already know you are the best thing that could happen to this universe. So, for the purposes of your healing process, please don't forget it.